No, you guys, this is not leading to a collapse. This is the empire collapsing. I feel like a lot of people think that things always happen all at once. That's not how it works. The empire is collapsing. And Trump's kind of shock and awe campaign, federalizing the police and saying that he's going to be adding troops to all these cities, that is just getting you comfortable with it and used to it, so that when they start making protests illegal and, Palantir has already taken over and has all of your biometric data, then they can start using some of the tactics they've been using in Gaza over here. We have a flaccid Congress that should be checking the president's power, but they're not. Instead, they're running around kissing the asses of Israeli officials and insider trading. It just got reported that Rick Scott, who's one of the most corrupt senators we've ever had, made almost $30 million only just recently off insider trading. Amazing. This is the decadent collapse. It's already happening, and we don't even have an opposition party to fight it.
America is collapsing before our very eyes. Restaurants are closing their doors for good in my city at a record pace. They're blaming it on a slow season, but I think it's something else. You can't tell me the amount of abandoned strip malls that I drive by on a daily basis is normal. I know you've seen it too. All these places just get replaced with the Capybara Cafe de Jour or a flower store to placate the masses, if you know what I mean. There used to be 24-hour diners, family-owned restaurants, even bookstores, I don't know, third spaces. Now, nothing. Luxury apartments that sit vacant forever. Grocery stores that have been closed for 10 years. So much wasted space in empty parking lots until some TikTok trend comes, opens for 6 months, and then that closes too. I know I'm not alone in this, but yet every single time I bring it up, I get all the bots in my comments telling me the economy's never been better. But I ask for who? Like 100 people at the top? So the billionaires are doing great. I don't care. People like you and me, we're struggling out here. All my friends live in vans. And if we are lucky enough to have apartments or houses, we're living behind locked doors and closed blinds because there's no community here anymore. Restaurants are just the beginning. They're the canary in the coal mine. Once they're gone, so are all of our meeting places, our birthday parties, our community, and third spaces. They're not just a place to buy food. They're a pulse of the neighborhood. And also, as a live singer, something hugely important to my job. I used to sing 5 nights a week. Now I'm lucky if I can find a Sunday night gig. So I'm just here to say, if this is what a booming economy sounds like, it must be the sound of doors slamming shut. And I don't know about you, but I'm making my exit plan. We're moving to Portugal soon, where they still have cafes and restaurants that people actually go to. If you find that interesting, stick around. Because I can tell you this is not normal. And don't let internet comments gaslight you into thinking it is.
You know what? Since everybody else is saying it, I'm going to say the quiet part out loud too. The whole reason we're in this mess, the whole reason that Donald Trump was ever even elected in the first place has zero to do with his qualifications, zero to do with him being a great politician, and everything to do with the fact that a lot of white Americans did not like that our country was run by a black man for 8 years. It triggered something in them. And then when Trump came in pushing the lie that Obama wasn't even born in this country, that appealed to them. They hopped on the MAGA train, and then choo-choo, they just kept on fucking going. And here's really the thing that I have to remember and the sad truth about it. People who have been supporting him from the beginning supported him because of those lies. People who've been on that train since 2016 supported him because of that. Not in spite of it, because of it.
So on today's episode of How Fucked Am I, me and my husband are both unemployed. I am by choice. I'm a stay-at-home mom to twins who are under the age of 5. So daycare would cost more than what I would even make. He was laid off. He was in the tech industry. He was laid off about 3 months ago, and he hasn't had any bite. We have a mortgage, and we have debt, and we have bills to pay. We're trying to figure out, how are we going to survive in this system? But do we even want to survive in this system? And we don't want to fucking pay taxes to genocide. We don't want to do this anymore. We don't want to send our kids to school to get unalived. We don't want to send them to school to learn about bullshit systems that aren't even going to help them. The American dream is dead. What are we getting out of it? We're renting our life from banks and insurance companies and the healthcare industry. So do I just sell the house? Do we just try and get as much equity as we can? Just go find a visa somewhere. Hopefully somewhere will take us. Do we, we're just like starting over. I feel like I'm a child. I feel like I'm starting all over from the beginning again, finding out a new career path. I was a lash artist since 2012. And it's like, I can't charge people $90 for a fill. Like, who's going to pay that in this economy? It's just like, do we just buy a trailer and go live off the land? I don't know anymore. Like, I'm fucking crashing out.
Family, for the longest time, many people have been predicting the fall of American Empire. And right now, we are seeing the fall of the American Empire. We are seeing American struggle in a rate that is unprecedented. We are seeing white people call out other people against racism. We are seeing the government of the day, Donald Trump's government, go against white people. We are seeing white farmers suffering, people who voted for Donald Trump thinking their interests would be put to place. Many white folks are now crying, saying that the American empire is falling. America is losing its status that it has always, retained in the global stage. Right now, America is going down and down each and every day. And family, according to me, these all thanks to what white America perpetuated to black folks in America. This fall was one that was expected. The American fall was just but a punishment from God, because America has a lot of blood in its hands. When you see the very foundation of America, the original people of America, were murdered by white people. And America that we have today was built on top of their graves under the forceful labor, slavery of black people. Family, the very foundation of America, has caused the collapse America is facing today, So fam, I want you to watch this video as white people cry, and say that whatever is happening today in America is a collapse. Once the video is done, we will get back and do a critical analysis about the same. So family, in a special way, I'd also want to thank my subscribers who took their time, to support this channel by buying me a coffee. I do not take your support for granted. The link is on the description box down below. Let's watch this video, then we'll be right back.
US News won't show you this, but I will. For the first time ever, more countries around the world viewed the US negatively than positively. Want to guess why? The 2025 Democracy Perception Index surveyed over 110,000 people in 100 different countries, and the results are not great for the US. America's global image has collapsed. In fact, even China is viewed more positively than the United States around the world. The US dropped from 22% approval rating last year to negative 5% this year. According to this index, Donald Trump is the least liked public figure. Only 27% of the people polled view him positively, even ranking below Vladimir Putin. And when asked why, former NATO Secretary General said, "It's no surprise that opinions have slipped, even among people like me who have spent their lives admiring the United States and what it stood for." He then went on to say that America's credibility is collapsing, and the reason is Donald Trump. He cited Trump's trade wars, bullying allies, engaging in, quote, chaotic diplomacy. And he's right. Sadly, the US is no longer the democratic model to follow. What do you guys think?
August 11th, 2025, the US national debt surpassed 37 trillion. It is now September 18th, 2025, and the national debt has just surpassed 37 trillion and 500 billion. The interest expense alone on the debt is now at 1 trillion. And that is likely to hit 1.1 trillion by the end of fiscal year 2025, which is the end of October. On top of this, when you look at the economic data coming out, it looks like in Q3 we are going to have a growth of GDP of about 1.2 to potentially 1.8%. This is far below the norm of 2.2 to 3.5% GDP growth. In order for us to get out of the national debt, we need to be growing at a rate of roughly 8 to 9% over the next 7 to 12 years. And in that video, I talked about how a recession is not baked in. And though it looks like we're not going to be going into a recession, we have some form of slowdown occurring. In that video, I stated that short of an AI and automation boom, it's going to be nearly impossible to have some form of huge economic growth. Coupled with this, we are seeing imports actually starting to grow while exports are staying pretty average. And this is extremely important because one of Trump's key components of this economic boom that the One Big Beautiful Bill was supposed to bring was an export boom and an import drop. This is becoming a very, very critical issue. This debt, when it does start getting out of control, it doesn't matter what they set the interest rate to. The market will determine what the price of that debt is. And if it continues to grow, the price of the money, the interest rate on the money, if we continue to show that we are not going to be able to pay it back, they're going to ask for higher interest rates. And if the higher interest rates on that debt continue to expand, then the debt will continue to expand. And we will not be able to get back to any form of health. If anything, it will just lead to further economic issues. Now, why is this important? This is important because the violence that we've seen so far in the country, when money stops to actually flow, when the interest expense starts to make it so that Social Security checks won't be able to make up for the rate of inflation, when Medicare can't be covered, when Medicaid can't be covered, when the money actually, nominally it won't stop, but when you get a $500 check in the mail, but the expenses to even buy what you used to be able to buy for that $500, let's say, is now $1,000. The violence we've seen is nowhere close to what it will be. And we need to start talking about this because it's only going to get worse. And given the fact that we are seeing some form of economic slowdown, 1.5%, let's just say, compared to the 2.5 regular growth, we're going backwards. And it's getting worse at an accelerating pace. With that, go ahead and follow. I would love to talk to you guys in the comments.
I frankly don't know how much longer I can keep doing this. I don't know how much longer my friends can keep doing this. Pretend I'm not eating a toaster strudel. That is super exemplary of everything I'm about to say right now. But me and my friends are in our 30s. We're college educated. We work in the tech industries, marketing, and either our jobs have been replaced by AI or our employers have let us go to cut the numbers before the holidays or whatever it may be, in anticipation of a quite different economy that we're about to experience. And I don't know how much more I can do it. We're expecting all these tariffs. We're going to see retaliatory tariffs from other countries. I already cannot afford to live. I can't afford to pay my student loans. I can't afford to pay the credit card debt that I've had to take out. When I got COVID, I got a bunch of medical debt. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm not this type of person. I am so resourceful. We are the fucking resume coaches, dude. We are the fucking managers. We are the people in charge. And now it's either you're a fucking billionaire, you're a CEO of a company, or you're fucking unemployed, I swear to God. And if you are employed, you're like terrified of getting let go. My friends and I are looking around at each other. We're like so smart. We've always had our shit together. We've always had money. Like, we're all depleted. We're like beyond depleted, and I don't know how much worse it could possibly fucking get. And I don't know what they want us to do about it. I can't even fucking imagine being younger than me and trying to get a job. At this point, like, I have so much debt from school, and I think I have to go back. I think I have to go back to school. I'm hoping I can get a scholarship or something, but my field of marketing has very quickly been replaced by AI. One of my last roles, I was training AI tools. So which as an aside, I just saw a content writing position that was simply to train AI. And they were paying $20 an hour. And they required a master's. I'm not even fucking kidding. I have a picture of it somewhere. Yeah, all these job postings are like, you need a master's in exceptionally specific field of study in taxation of foreign countries or something. It's like, what? And then they pay $20 an hour. Anyway, all of the pay offerings for my field are now what they were when I started in the field, right? So when I started at, I don't know, $60,000 or whatever. That is now the fucking cap at these places. That is a cap. What do you want me to do? You want me to die? You want me to die? It feels like my government wants me to fucking die. If you don't feel like that, congratulations. You made it.
I love how this country and also the world is completely falling apart right now, and we're still just going about our business like nothing is wrong. The stock market is in a complete free fall, which is sending shockwaves around the world where other countries' markets are failing. We've lost over $3 trillion in the stock market in a matter of days. Meanwhile, the federal government has the audacity to give me a credit score. We have U.S. warships in the Middle East getting ready for what seems to be an inevitable attack from Iran against Israel going down any minute now. A new jobs report showed that we're at 4.3% unemployment. People are applying to thousands of jobs and nobody is hearing back. And the jobs that do respond only want to give you $14 an hour and require a master's degree with 5 years of experience. Our current president is an old man with dementia who doesn't know if the smell is coming from his own pants or Pelosi's vodka breath. And our only two choices for president for the upcoming election are between a 78-year-old old dude with more legal issues that one can count and a cackling buffoon who is apparently unburdened by what has been. Our political divisions are so wide in this country that no one can get along. Nobody can afford basic necessities like groceries, gas, or even the places they live in. We are one nut hair away from World War III breaking out, and yet the only thing we seem to care about is pointless TikTok drama like Mr. Beast being canceled or influencer birthday parties. It kind of makes you wonder, when exactly is this lid just gonna pop off? Because if I'm being completely honest here, it's kind of hard to remain optimistic of a bright future when it doesn't really feel like the future is even something that we're going to get to experience. All these articles keep coming out saying things like birth rates keep falling at unprecedented levels in the United States. It's like, well, no shit. Nobody wants to have babies anymore because we can't afford to take care of ourselves these days, let alone another little human being that you have to raise and feed and clothe. Not to mention the way the world is going and the indoctrination going on in our ridiculous public education school system doesn't really seem like a great selling point for us younger adults to be like, hey guys, life's good. Pull off those rubbers and start launching that baby batter out there. The sad truth is that millennials and Gen Z, we've become all too self-aware that this world is absolutely fucked. I mean, is there any hope or possibility that things are going to get better? Every day we turn on the news and it's another breaking, historically significant issue that we have to live through. So are we to believe that despite the unending list of absolute bullshit that is the world right now, that one day things are just going to be fine again? Like, think about it. Does anyone honestly believe that one day we're going to wake up and hear something like, breaking news, rent is now affordable again, or breaking news, a new law has been signed to stop corporate greed, allowing for employees to make the proper amount of money at their jobs in order to be able to afford the cost of living, or breaking news, U.S. politicians actually have to start working for the people to better their lives instead of making themselves richer? Those things almost sound mythological when you consider just how bad life has gotten. And what's worrisome is the fact that maybe, just maybe, we're inevitably heading to some sort of a hardcore factory reset, that society may be too far gone at this point, and the only thing that will fix it, or at least put us onto a better path, might be some type of cataclysmic conclusion. I certainly don't want that to happen, but it's not looking too good right now. And I think the most depressing thing about this whole situation is that the younger generations, millennials and Gen Z, we actually have the capacity to bring about positive, beneficial change that would allow for a world where everyone can afford to live in it. We would actually want to implement policies that avoid war because our generations know that none of us want to actually go fight in some war. None of us want to go fight and die just because some suits in a government disagree with each other's ideologies. How childish and stupid is it that everything wrong with our country and our world is because these old geriatric fuckface boomers can't let go of their power and want to fuck everything up for us? The problem is that millennials and even Gen Z won't even have the opportunity to do anything positive because everything is on the brink of collapse. All we want to do is live in a world where every person of every creed and every background can live a good, happy life that they can afford and also be able to achieve their dreams. But no, these boomer politicians want us to live in a world where a kid who sweats his ass off in the summer pushing carts for a grocery store can't even afford to live anywhere, while the CEO of that same company lives off of their $100 billion net worth. It's absolutely fucked up. But what can we do? We keep talking about it, sure, but then they'll advocate to take this app away from us so that we can't talk about it. So who knows? I'd say to keep remaining positive, keep believing that one day we can make it right and that one day we can live good lives. But at this point, I just don't know anymore. It's a very hopeless way to look at life. At this point, all we can do is pray that these sick and twisted fucks don't blow up the world before they all eventually just die off and give us the opportunity to make things right. One could only hope.
I don't know why no one's talking about this, but there is a mass exodus of US citizens from the United States. Look, I'm a real estate agent in Costa Rica. I help foreigners move abroad, move to Costa Rica, and make a life here. I've been getting a ton of stories from clients who are absolutely spent. I'm working with a psychiatrist who helps teenagers. And when I asked her why she wants to move to Costa Rica, she said, it's because I have lost all hope. My patients have lost hope. And what's worse is I have lost hope too. And how can I possibly be of service to someone else if I don't believe it's not going to get any better? So what she's doing is saving herself, packing up her bags, and moving abroad. This is where we are.
I am telling you guys right now, if you're paying attention to the world, you are seeing the fall of the United States. It's that simple. We are headed into warfare. We've been at spiritual warfare for a long time, but now we're actually headed to physical warfare. I'm telling you now, load up on firearms, learn how to garden, learn how to grow your own food, have stockpiles of food, essentials, Band-Aid kits, everything. I'm telling you, it is that time. You need to get ready.
The Republicans know they cannot win the midterms if they've already damaged the very working class that they depend on for those votes. And that is how you know that they know exactly what they're doing, that they are intentionally harming their own voters, but delaying it until after they've gotten their vote first. Delaying it until it's too late for them to do anything about it. They're getting the working class to vote against their own interests. When the American empire finally collapses, historians will not be shocked by the greed of the elite. They're going to be appalled by the loyalty of the poor. Working class didn't just vote against their own interest. They worshipped the very billionaires that were exploiting them. They slashed their own benefits. They gutted their own health care. They took food away from their children. And they didn't do it because it would help them. They did it because they were told it would hurt someone else. And that's exactly what we're seeing as we attack an entire group of human beings.
Family, the fall of America that has been discussed by many people over the years is here. Family, the fall of America is not next year. It's not tomorrow. It has already started. Family, this is something that many folks had already, predicted. Many prophets say that the fall is coming and it will be so heavy. But folks, many people have not, gotten to understand that America's collapse is already here. In this video, you've seen many white folks crying and saying that, their country is falling. America is losing its status in the world stage. This is something many folks didn't see coming. America has turned into a fascist country. We are seeing that by the leadership of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is now ordering the media, saying that no media can criticize him. That already is fascism at its very peak. He wants to own the media. He wants America to be media that is owned by the state. Family, that is very wrong. We are seeing a lot of these weaknesses with the president. We saw the other day the AG Pam Bondi, Attorney General, come up and say that there is no freedom of speech. There is no hate speech. When she said that she will start prosecuting hate speeches. Family, that to me is a fall of a nation. A country that cannot have, the right to freedom of speech. The very first amendment, when you want to see that a country is falling, even the very constitution is not being followed by the government officials. We've seen that with Pam Bondi and with President Donald Trump. Family, a nation that does not follow its own laws, a nation that does not follow its own constitution is on its way to its fall. And that is what is happening in America today. Family, look at the high tariffs right now. The cost of living is unbearable. This all thanks to choosing a fascist leader. Family, this today is the collapsing of America. Look at the deficit. the debt that America has today. It's running in trillions. And in a few months, we are expecting that to add up to crazy numbers. Family, when you go to the internet today, just open your TikTok. Just search the cost of living in America. You'll see many white people crying, left, right, and center. Family, this is all because of choosing Donald Trump. Family, the cost of living is very expensive. Many of these folks are saying they cannot be able to achieve living in America today. They cannot be able to live in a time where the tariffs are so high. We are seeing farmers saying they cannot be able even to buy equipment in their farms. They cannot be able to sell their soybeans, to countries like China, who are a big market to soybeans in America because of the high tariffs. It's very, very expensive for people to import products from America. It's very expensive for American farmers to export their products to China and any other market. This all because of the tariffs, the very high tariffs. And family, this to me is a fall. A fall of a nation that has been very, very strong. A fall of a nation through its own leaders, through their own people choosing fascism and racism over really nice leadership qualities. Many folks do not want to see a black person in office. They are trying so hard to push their leaders. They do not want, white folks to lose the power that they've always had since the very beginning, in the very foundation of America. And family, I always tell people, and I'd say again in this video, the very foundation that built America to whatever it is today is what it's taking it down. Family, when you build a home, the very foundation that your home stands on is what determines how long your home will stand. If you put, a few coins on your foundation and a lot of money on the roofing, there's no way your roof can be able to sustain you, even if you put trillions in dollars on it. Family, the foundation, it should be very, very strong. You should invest a lot in the foundation. In the very same analogy, take it to America today. You'll notice that many Americans, the America that we have today was founded on white supremacy. An America that was founded on slavery. An America that was founded, in ensuring that other people cry for America to be built the way it is today. And family, that on its own self, just explains America's fall today. America is falling in a very, very high pace, a pace that many folks did not anticipate. America is falling, to a place that many people did not see coming. This is all thanks to racism. This is all thanks to pushing hate rather than love. This is all thanks to the very foundation that America was built on. It was built on hate, racism, supremacy, and ensuring that certain groups of people, are just marginalized and continue struggling, like what you're seeing today in America. Black people still face injustices each and every day. We are seeing black people struggle in America till today. We are seeing the criminal justice system against them. Family, the only way America can be rescued is when white Americans try and change their ways. We understand that the white Americans who are alive today did not in any way, push slavery. They did not in any way, but hit black people during the times of slavery. But what they can do today is change the analogy. It's so sad when we see white folks today still perpetuate the very same racist ideologies that was started during the days of slavery. If America is to be rescued by God, white folks should, number one, pay reparations for black people. Tell them they are sorry, repent and pay them reparations. And number three, ensure that they live a life that their ancestors didn't live. Ensure that they live well with black people. Treat them like human beings. Treat them well. Family, this is what is happening in America today. Fam, the fall of America today is caused by its very foundation. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this video. I'd also appreciate if you like this video so that it can be recommended to other YouTube users. Lastly, I'd highly appreciate if you all subscribe. We are currently at 30k subscribers, and I'd really be happy if you hit 50,000 subs in a few months. The goal of the channel has always been to talk about Black history, Black empowerment, and ensure we tell Black stories the Black way, because if we give the white supremacists an opportunity to tell our story, many a times our stories are whitewashed. Thank you so much. Kindly do consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you, and see you all in our next episode. Goodbye for now.